So I was asked how I make the seaweed in these little dioramas that I started making. So this video is just a demonstration of how I made the seaweed in here. I'm going to use three colors of glass, and the base is going to be Creation's Messy Shrubbery, and then I'm going to put stringers of black over that. And then I'm going to encase it in Creation is Messy Slytherin. You could substitute whatever greens that you like for this, of course. And so here I'm just going to melt um, the shrubbery into just a ball. And you could do this on a chopstick or a large, on the end of a thicker mandrel, if you're not comfortable doing it on the end of your rod. But when I'm making just a small item like this, I just do it on the end of my rod of glass, whatever the central color is. You could even do this over some clear to make it a little bit stiffer if you have trouble managing the glass when it gets softer. So here I'm just making a ball of glass on the end of my rod. It's going to be a little bit bigger than a pea, not quite as big as an olive. Um, there you go. There's my my little ball of glass at the end. And I was just holding it upside down so that it would stand out straight. It's not going to stay that way, but I like to start that way. Okay, so there you can see the size. And here I'm just putting the black stringer over the top, and anywhere from 5 to 7 usually looks pretty good. You can put more stringers on if you like, or fewer stringers. I like mine to be relatively thin because they are going to spread out later when I mash it flat. So here I'm just some of my stringers balled up a little bit, so I'm just smushing them down um, to the rod of glass so that they go all the way to the ends. And there's another one, just pressing it down to the rod. And now I'm going to encase it in the Slytherin. And I have some bubbles on the end, so I'm just going to heat that up and pull the bubbles off. And you're just going to heat little balls of the Slytherin, the transparent, on the end and just encase around your ball there at the end. And just going around, you want to make sure that the transparent comes all the way down to the rod or of shrubbery. And if you are using a chopstick or whatever, you want to make sure that the transparent goes all the way down to whatever you're building your ball of glass on. All right, there's our ball. I'm just going to heat it. Okay, so once the ball is heated and the transparent is melted in, I'm just gonna flatten it with my mashers into a lollipop shape. And then I'm going to heat it again, get rid of the chill marks, and you want to heat it until it's just a little bit floppy. So right now I'm not quite here, but we're going to heat it until it's floppy, and then we're going to grab the end of the lollipop. You can see there, I made an initial grab, see if it's soft enough. Not quite. So I'm just going to heat it again. It should pull out very easily. So now I'm going to pull it out slowly and turn at the same time, but just very gently, not as fast as I would twist um, if I was making a twisty. And I'm just heating the bottom a little bit more because I want it to be just a little bit longer. Heat a little bit more and give it a little twist. And there it is. Now I'm going to hold it until it's firm again. Make sure it's straight. I'm just holding it up to look at it, make sure it's straight. And then I'm going to heat the tip again where I grabbed it with the tweezers because it left a dent in the glass. And I'm going to pull that dent off once it's hot. I'm heating about 1/4 of an inch maybe, and I'm just going to pull it off. And I am hovering just above the flame, so you're still getting that radiant heat, but it's not enough to melt it into a blob at the end. So there, it's nice and straight, and I like the way that it looks. I'm heating up my tweezers in the flame, just flashing them in there so that it won't shock the glass when I hold my piece of seaweed with the tweezers. And I'm heating the bottom so that I can pull it off and make it into our seaweed. So at this point, if you wanted to keep it completely glass, you can just pull out this a spike, kind of like you can see me doing here, just melting it in so it'll be kind of a straight bit of glass. And you could use that to put it into your that straight piece to put it into your diorama or whatever you're creating. Um, I I'm gonna put this one on a piece of mandrel. It's really thin, like 1/16 mandrel. And then I'll be able to drill the hole into my wood and put the mandrel into just a tiny bit of the mandrel in, and it'll be a little stronger. And once the mandrel is in the blob at the bottom, you just want to kind of stretch it out um, and make sure it's in there securely. And that is how I made the seaweed. I hope that helps. And if you have any questions, just reach out.